start like this is the beginning. Okay. All right, guys. So I want you to tell me, what do you want to manifest in the next week? So by our call next week, and I want it to be specific. This is a money container. So whether it's money or clients, 5 sales, great, great. Okay, so drop it in the chat what you want by next week. Good. And I want you, sorry, I'm going to pop the chat out here. Okay, let's see, pop out. And now I want you to ask yourself, on a scale from 1 to 10, good to notice. On a scale from 1 to 10, how good does it feel in your body when you think about what you want in the next week? Okay. So 1 being like, nope, and 10 being like, yeah, that feels good, that feels possible, that feels doable. Okay. Good to notice, right? Good to notice. Okay. How much do you believe that you create your reality? 1 to 10, 10 being like, yes, I do. 1 being like, no. I love you guys for these answers. It makes me happy. Okay. How much do you believe that you control how life goes for you? And notice if there's any resistance around the word control. Because sometimes it's I don't mean control in like micromanaging way. I mean like as in like taking responsibility. But notice if there's resistance there to the word control. Like I'm in control of my life, right? Okay, good to notice. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you believe that you control how your life goes? On a scale from 1 to 10, how much are you okay with being in control of your life? And again, not micromanaging control, but more like a taking responsibility. Okay. And just notice if there's a difference. So I'm going to ask the same question, but I'm going to ask it and replace it with responsibility and see if the number changes. How much are you okay with taking responsibility for how life goes for you? How much are you okay with taking responsibility for your life? Notice if the numbers change when I change from control to responsibility. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much are you okay with taking responsibility for where you are with money? Notice that number. That number is important. Okay, so we're going to go into something very deep that I wrote just for you guys, and it's really magical, but I want you guys to go into it. It's a visualization process that, good, I like the question mark. You're like, I think. Good to notice. And we're going to go back over these questions at the end, but this is really around setting your standards higher and tightening your boundaries. So don't think too much about that, but just kind of have it in the background of like, that's kind of where we're going with this, right? Okay, so I'm going to drop you guys in to an experience. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look straight ahead. So your head is straight. I want you to find a spot in front of you. Okay. So whatever is in front of you, a wall, a curtain, a window, whatever. Now I want you to take your eyes and I want you to roll them up to where it's almost uncomfortable. And I want you to find a spot there. So my eyes are rolled like in this direction. And immediately you'll notice your eyes kind of start to flutter and strain. That's perfect. Stay there. And I want you to stare at that spot as intensely as you can and just notice what happens. Your eyes will start to flutter. Your breathing might shift. Things might go blurry. Your eyes feel strained. Keep going. Stay with it. And notice that your eyes will start to flutter and get kind of heavy, almost like you're a little bit like sleepy in your eyes. And keep staring at that spot. until you are ready to close your eyes because it feels good, where you're like, yes, I just get to close my eyes. Okay, so if you need to stare longer, but if you're ready to close them, you just close them down and you kind of feel them kind of like lock in, like they're like sealed shut. And just arriving here now in this moment. Breathing, noticing how the chair feels against your body. Notice how you're feeling in your body. Is there some tightness? Is there any stress? Is just doing a quick scan. How am I feeling in my body today? You know, with the holidays and being all around so many people and family, it's so much fun and beautiful, but it can be a little bit stressful too. So taking that in consideration. And now I just want you to go to a place where anything is possible, okay? So just imagine, visualize a place and don't overthink it. Just trust that your brain will take you there. This is where you do brain-body connection. So your brain will take you to a place where anything's possible. It can be real or imagined. So notice, is it a cartoon? Is it a real place? Is it a place you've been before? Is it completely new? But anything is possible in this place. Notice what it looks like. Notice what it feels like. And if you struggle with this, I want you to borrow the feeling from another experience. So where you had that feeling of awe, wonder, adventure, childlike curiosity, bring that feeling into this place now. And I want you to notice if your place shifted. Sometimes when we bring feelings into it, something will shift, like the way it looks or the colors or something. And if it doesn't shift, that's okay. But just you are now in a place where anything is possible and you fully feel like anything is possible. Like, oh my gosh, like there's so much awe and wonder here. Okay, so bringing in that feeling of possibility, that childlike curiosity, that awe, that wonder, almost like a sense of adventure. Notice as you do this, your body might want to move. Allow it to move if it needs to. My body's moving a lot this morning. I've been moving a lot of energy, so. Okay, so now imagine that you are in this place. Now, you might have already imagined that, but for those of you that didn't, you're now in this place. And I want you to notice that, are you in the first person view? Can you see your hands? Are you looking at yourself from the third person? Like, just notice. There's no right or wrong way to do it. We're just here to notice. But you are now in this place where anything is possible. That feeling is so good. Anything is possible. And I want you to notice what you look like in this place. Notice how you walk. Notice how you hold your body. But also notice, like, are you sitting down? Are you standing up? Like, just notice what's happening in this place where anything's possible. And there's no right or wrong. If you feel stuck, just imagine, just pretend. The word pretend is super powerful when we do this because our conscious brain sometimes likes to talk us out of it. It's like, oh, I'm just pretending, right? And then it'll kind of like unlock, you know? So now I want you to notice the physical change of you in a place where anything is possible. Okay, like shift your body language. What is the difference between this version of yourself and how you're currently showing up in your life and business? Notice the difference and what drops in. Nothing may drop in and that's okay, but something may drop in for you guys. So now when you're ready, I just want you to imagine yourself getting what you want. So Jen, you came on a little later. So at the beginning, we said, what do we want to manifest in the next week? It needs to be very specific. So like a specific amount of client or a specific amount of money. And so I want you to imagine getting what you want in this place, that anything's possible. And I want you to notice if that feels easy or if there's resistance. Like in this place where anything's possible, it feels so easy to get what I want. I can see myself getting. or is there resistance there? And there's no right or wrong way to do it. We're just noticing. And if there is resistance, just ask yourself what needs to change in my visualization where it feels more easeful. Sometimes just shifting something, whether it's a color or bringing, like for me, I don't know why, but bringing in animals, certain animals come up for me and it makes me feel better. I don't know. So just play around. Like it's like your coloring book or your movie, you're making a movie. You can make this place whatever you want it to be. So I want you to imagine just getting what you want. And I want you to feel it in your body now. How does it feel sensationally, but also emotionally to have what you want? Notice, is there space in your body? Does it feel open or does it feel closed? Because we want to go for open. We want to go for space. A lot of times we don't get what we want because we literally don't have the space for it. I say literally, there is a literal part of this. There's also like an energetic and like other part, but like it's a space thing, right? So notice how you're holding yourself. So you've gotten what you want. You're there now. Notice how you look, like what's happening. Feel it in your body. See it, feel it, taste it, touch it. The more sensory things we can bring in, the better, because not only can your body not tell the difference between real and imagined, but your unconscious and subconscious usually can't either. So that's why we're doing this. As many things as you can. And now I just want to give you full permission to like play for a minute. Like if you're really having maybe a struggle with this, like bring some play. Like, can I just like have some fun? I don't have to make this happen. How can I make this fun? How can I make this easy? How can I make it feel good? Anything is possible in this place. Anything is possible for this version of you. And you can have anything you desire in this place. Now I want you to notice, guys, and something may come up and drop in and something may not, and that's okay. But notice what happens when I ask you, what needs to change? Now, this could be in the actual visualization. Like I said, we can change things and play around with it, but it's probably going to be in your actual life. What needs to change with how you're showing up? What needs to change with your boundaries? What needs to change with how much you're settling? What needs to change with your maybe communication? Notice what drops in. And if nothing drops in, that's okay too. The experience will still work. And just notice, what do I need to do next for this to be my reality in a week? And just notice what comes up. What needs to change? And just trust that whatever's meant to come forward will, and it'll be a drop in, and one thing will come in and you'll be like, okay, that's it. It should be very easy, easeful, simple. If it's really complicated, that is your conscious brain coming in. It should just be easeful, like a 5-year-old, like few words or one word, right? Simple. Okay. Now, whenever you're ready to come back from this place to the here and now, do a thumbs up or something, because I can't see any of you guys, or drop in the chats. Let me know. Good. Yeah. Cool. Oh, I didn't pin myself, dang. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to go back to the original questions, and I want to see if they shifted at all. And if they didn't, that's okay, but we're just going to see. How much on a scale from 1 to 10 does what you want in the next week feel good in your body? 10 being like, yes, it feels good. Good. How much does it feel like it's done? Oh, it was at a 5. That's amazing. How much does it feel like it's done? Like it's just, of course it's going to happen. Yeah. And if it's at an 8, that's great. If it's said, ooh, I love that big learning coming. I love it. I love it. If it's at a 7 or 8, see if you can move it. Like literally reach out, grab the number, move it. What happens? Can you get it higher? If not, what's coming up? And feel free to drop it in the chat if you want about what's coming up, so I can help you. I can speak to it. Okay. Now I'm going to go through the questions again, and then we're going to do the manifestation process. We're doing a lot today. Learning how to be concise. You know, that's been coming a lot through a lot for me too. Is what came through. I had a big, I've been going through a big up level awakening over the last 10 days. It's been kind of insane and intense. And that's what came through too, of being more intentional and more concise. That was a good way to describe it. So I love that. I'm feeling emotional, but I don't know why. I think it needs to trust and let go. That's hard. Yeah. Yes. And that's okay. If you're feeling emotional, it's for a reason. Just let those emotions come up and out. They're just looking to be released. They're not serving you anymore. And so we just get to release them, and your camera's off. So you can cry if you want to, or you can shake your body, or you can move around. But that's good when emotions come up, because we're moving, we're shifting things. So it's good. Yeah. And so if you feel like trust and let go for you is a big one, after this, tap on that. I trust myself. I trust the universe. I trust what's coming to me, and it's safe for me to let go. See how that works for you. Okay, so really quick, how much do you believe you create your reality? Tears, thank you. Yeah. Scale from 1 to 10. I think these were pretty high, so these should go pretty fast. How much do you believe you create your reality? How much do you believe that you are responsible for how your life goes? How much are you okay with being responsible for where you are with money? Notice that number. That number is important. Good. How much are you okay with being responsible or taking responsibility for where you are in your business right now? Okay, really quick. Good. I'm loving these numbers, guys. I have a feeling some stuff's going to manifest for you guys this week. And we're still going to go through my manifestation process. We might go over a little. So Jen, you hopped on a little bit earlier. So no one joined the call until 10:30. So I already did the training and I was about to get off, and then everybody hopped on. So I was like, okay, I'll just redo the training. That's okay. So that's why I'm going kind of fast. Yeah. I need to know when the video is. Yeah. What do you mean? Like the live call? Is that what you're asking? You guys all should be getting emails. So if you're not, let me know. Know the video recording. Yeah. So guys, I will talk more about this in the Facebook group. Yeah, I'll talk more about this in the Facebook group, but I started migrating everything yesterday onto a platform. I'm moving to Podia. You guys will get information on how to log in to that. So all the recordings will be there. I think I'm only going to put in the last 7. Drop it in the chat if that's okay. And the reason being, because at the beginning, only needed today. Yeah, I'll probably upload it into both so you can have immediate access to it, right? For today. But the reason I thought, because we've been through, I think 14. And so I thought 7 to 10, because the first ones do have some personal stuff on there. And so just to be in integrity, I think that I was just going to do the last 7 to 10, and those first ones can just be let go, right? Because people did come up and talk, and they talked about their some personal things, and just for integrity reasons, I think it's just best to leave those out. You guys are more than fully supported with moving forward. I've got you. You don't need those first few videos. If I think they need to be redone, I will revisit them. So I was very intentional with it. I went through and watched them and was like, okay, this is really good, but there's a lot of people talking. So probably 7 to 10 videos. And then every video from now moving forward will be uploaded into Podia. And Heather, I will be sending you a link today. So all the charges, everybody else on here is not monthly. You guys have paid in full for 6 months. So Heather, I'll send you a link through Podia, and it'll be monthly, but you'll also be able to update your payment information with Podia if this ever happens again. So thank you for that loving push of just getting me to get everything onto a different platform. And so many fun things are going. Thank you. I appreciate it. I had so much resistance around it. But so many fun things are coming to the Facebook group, because you notice it's kind of dead. And so I was like, I just want to open this up. I want to start doing trainings and then have live Q&A with just you guys on, Zoom. And so Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. And so there's so many big things coming. And I know. So I didn't start it yet because I wanted all the videos off before I could invite people in to the Facebook group, because that was an integrity thing, right? Yeah. Okay. So you guys just watch for my announcement. I will at everyone in the Facebook group and probably send out an email as well, just to keep you guys posted on what's going on. So those should be migrated by end of day, latest tomorrow. So exciting. And then I'll start opening up the Facebook and doing live Q&A starting next week. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. And so that'll really help you, right? Because then you won't even have to get on Facebook for this. Okay. So, now manifestation. Sorry, we got kind of out of the vibe. So we might go over just a few minutes, but we kind of got out of the vibe, but I want you to go back to like this anything's possible energy. Okay. We're sitting in that again. We're here. How safe is it for you to have what you want in the next week? And I specifically did a week because normally I don't do specific time frames, and I want you to notice the difference when I put a time frame on it. Good to notice. Why? If it's lower than a 10, why? I mean, 9 is still good, but if it's like a 7, I want to know why. Yeah. And can you allow yourself to do that work with a lot of ease and grace and just like childlike curiosity and fun, right? Like not put too much pressure on yourself, right? I'm not sure. I'm a terrible speller, so I wouldn't even know. I'm dyslexic, so I literally am like the worst speller. But yeah, just notice, like, that's why we did this, is childlike curiosity. Like, can you do the things that you need to do without putting the pressure on yourself? Yeah, I need to let go. Good to notice. Good to notice. Okay. How much do you expect it to happen on a scale from 1 to 10? Like, this is happening. Feel in your body. It's happening. It's done. And for those of you, like 8 is great. I'm so celebrating these numbers, but see if you can get it higher. Move it. What comes up? Grab the number, move it. Feel what happens in your body when you move the number. The sensations are there for a reason. There's something there. What is it? So I'm hearing, I need to be more concise. I need to let go. So you've got a lot of good clarity. I keep hearing, I don't know yet. Yeah. And that's a tough one. I wish you were on the Powerfully You call yesterday. It was so crazy, but that's what we actually did. We went into deep on like this thing of like your brain telling you you don't know when you do know. How, yeah. And I hope this lands for you. If it doesn't, leave it. But when we are stuck in like, how is it going to happen? How's it going to work? We're giving our power away. You know, it's very much like being out of alignment and out of our power shows up a lot as like overthinking, procrastinating, telling ourselves we don't know. Like, so, and just with that information, can we still come at it with like childlike curiosity? So is the opposite childlike trust. I'm not sure what you mean. Can you reword that? I'm not sure if I understand. Oh, you just said it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay. How likely is it that you will have what you want in the next week? Good to notice. Ooh, okay. Why? Why is that number low? I feel like I know what you're gonna say, but we'll see what comes up. I was thinking like evidence might come up. Okay. So then the question becomes, how do you get something in the pipeline? That feels good. Like, remember yesterday we talked about that, about water is such a big thing for you. It must signify something of that kind of like feeling. So like, how do we get people in the pipeline from that feeling of like, anything's possible? I get what I want and I don't force it. I'm just in alignment and I take action from alignment and it feels good and supportive, not forced. So if it comes up, then it's out of the blue. Yeah. And so for you, consistency is such a big thing. So really look at that. And that may be like a journal exercise. I don't know, but because things have been dropping in for you, but it hasn't been consistent, there's something there. So maybe it's a fear around what I would fear would happen if I get things consistently. It might be a fear, it might be a worthiness thing, like look at that. Because you do, since you've been in my containers, you have manifested some crazy things. And what keeps coming up for you is consistency. So really look at that. I'm scared to have childlike trust. Should I visualize every morning that all things are possible? Yeah. So are you good at visualizing? Is that your thing? We talk a lot about this in Powerfully You, but like really getting clear on if you are a visualizer or if you're a journaler or if you do well with tapping. The reason that I do visualization and tapping with you guys is because it works for everyone and we have hardcore data on this. But if you're not great at visualizing on your own, then don't do it. It'll work in the container with me because I'm holding the space for you. But don't make yourself visualize if that's not good for you. But if you know that you're visual and that works for you and you're able to really cultivate that feeling of childlike trust when you visualize, then yes, do it every day for a week. Like, and we're talking like a few minutes here, like as long as you want, but like, don't do it to where you won't put it on your to-do list. So 2 to 3 minutes tops, right? Yeah. And the trick here is when you visualize to make sure you're cultivating the feeling as well. That's the most important thing, because that's the whole reason we tap and we visualize, is to attach that feeling to what you want. Does that make sense? 7, my brain has had issues with concise. Oh, me too. I so struggle with this. So this one is big and I clear that so much abundance and clarity. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. That is huge. Yes, to all of that. And also I so feel you on all of that. I'm literally like in the process of doing that same work myself. So should I tap every morning too? Yeah. If you like, what does it feel? Does it feel supportive and doable to do 5 minutes every morning and do both? Yes. Okay. Then do both. And just, if it's going to, just figure out which one's going to make the other one easier. Is it tapping to feel better and then visualize, or is it visualizing and then just tapping to like kind of like hone it in, like lock it in? So just get clear on what feels right for you, because you know what works best for you. And you'll notice that as you do it, the time you need to do it will be quicker. Like you'll just be able to drop into it, right? I want to keep the feeling of letting go. Okay, good. Yeah. And of course, let me know if you have trouble with that. So you guys can use the Facebook group to still ask questions like, hey, this is coming up. How do I do this? How do I move through that? I'm in there to answer questions. And so is Abigail. Okay. So for what you want from this place of anything's possible, how worthy of you are having the thing that you want within the next week? How worthy? Having what you want in the next week. Good. How much do you deserve it? Good to notice, guys. Yeah, I really like this visualization practice. I'll probably crop out the first part just so I can use it, because I think it's really beneficial, but I'll probably crop it out and just put it in the Facebook group so you guys have it. Just the part, the visualization practice, because I think it's really powerful. Did you guys like it? Like, yeah. Was it helpful? Okay, I guess was it helpful? Yeah. I want to know that it really served you guys. Good. Okay. Okay, last one. How much? Oh, okay, I've got 2. How much are you allowing yourself to have what you want in the next week? So 1 to 10, 10 being like, I'm allowing this to happen. I'm not going to get in my own way. I'm just going to stay in alignment and take action and not be too attached to the outcome. I'm allowing it to happen. And the last one is going to be a kicker. Notice the answer on this one. How much good. Yeah, work on it. How much can you accept that it's done? You put your order into Amazon and you just trust that Amazon's going to deliver it. 10 being like, yeah, I can do that. Like I can I can do that. I can just, it's done. I can accept the fact that it's done. Notice if that number is low. And especially for those of you that have a thing with trust, it's probably going to be low, right? And that's okay. You guys have the tools to navigate this. If I don't do daily meditation, 8, if I continue to tap, yes, good. So you know the next step, tap into your inner wisdom, right? Okay, Krista, what do you need? I knew that was going to come up eventually. I want you this week. I know that we talked a lot yesterday in the container as well, but like, I want you this week to tap on not needing evidence, to just see if we can get that out, to see if we can rewire that. We may not be able to right now. That's okay. It'll move when it's ready. But can you tap out the feeling of needing evidence? Because it probably feels like sensationally a certain way in your body. Like needing evidence is a feeling. That needing is a sensation and a feeling. So tap that out and then tap in. I can trust without evidence. Yeah. I can trust without evidence, right? I'm sure that all of you have had trust at some point in your life that you can borrow from, have like where you've done something and you're like, it's just done. Like, okay, I trust that it's done. So just keep that in mind. Okay. I said it was the last question, but I lied. I have 2 more. Okay. Where, and you can drop this in the chat, it may help you ground it in, but you don't have to. Where do you need to raise your standards? And that can be in your life, it can be in your business. I'm raising my standards and tightening my boundaries hard right now, and it is so uncomfortable. But there's a lot of beauty on the other side. Because guys, I'm going to be very real with you. You cannot expect to up level and make more money and stay the same person. Your business and your bank account is a reflection of your standards. Good to notice. So where can you raise your standards? And that can be anything from like, I need to raise my prices, or working with these types of people don't feel good anymore, or this type of person doesn't have access to me and my energy anymore. Like, people aren't going to speak to me in this way. I'm not going to allow people to do XYZ. Like, just notice what comes up. And if nothing comes up, that's okay. But notice the resistance if you have a lot of resistance to this. And the last one is, where do you need to tighten your boundaries in respect to getting what you want? Because guys, like, I can teach you how to manifest, but you have to become the person too. Because if you don't become the person, it's going to be that random manifestation. It's not going to be consistent. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? And my availability for time to lower paid work? Yes. Remember how we talked about this when you started saying no to unaligned clients and all these other aligned clients came? It's the same with this. I'm not available for that. The universe will meet you there. I promise you. But we have to work on being okay with it, because it can be scary. I've had that happen where I have changed containers, or I've changed pricing, and I had a temporary dip in income, and I just had to work on trusting that the universe was going to meet me there, and it did. So, I mean, obviously, if you're having trouble paying your bills, I mean, have discernment. I'm not going to tell you to like walk out blindly with faith that it's going to work out. Like, have discernment, but can you like hold the duality of like, I can do that, and also like make sure I feel safe? Because the last thing I want to do is tell you guys to do things that's going to make your nervous system out of whack and not feel safe. Because that's actually like, a lot of people teach manifestation in that way. And I think it can be very harmful when there's not discernment, right? Because we have to feel safe. So if you're having trouble paying your bills and I'm like, well, only accept this much money for your work, like, have discernment. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. All right, guys. How are you guys feeling? I feel like this was amazing. Thank you guys for showing up, even if it was only for half the call. So just know that this call is only going to be 30 minutes because I did a whole 30 minutes with no one on the call. Getting clear on where my energy goes. I love this for you. I love this for you. I think that's going to change everything. Yeah, doing that priorities and management. For me, it was being very intentional and present, which is so uncomfortable for me. I think that's a trauma response of like just being uncomfortable and like in the stillness and the intentionality. And as I learn to do it, the universe meets me there, but it's uncomfortable. You didn't hang up. Yeah, I love to just see the video. Well, you didn't really miss it. So I had only just started because they had maybe logged in like 2 minutes before you logged in. You didn't really miss anything. But so just FYI there, but I will upload it into the Facebook group and Podia. Yeah, you don't need it, but I am going to crop out because I did that visualization process without you guys. I just did it, and so I'm going to crop that part out and I'm just going to post it and pin it in the Facebook group so you guys have it. So that way you can always access it. It'll be just a resource. Okay. Okay. Amazing. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just going through the chat. This is amazing. You're so welcome. Why do you find it gives you the most insight? If I need more insight, journaling, asking questions while visualizing. Yeah. So don't overwhelm yourself. Let it be easy. Like, when have you noticed that you connect in the most? When do you get the most insights and aha moments? For me, walking is one of those. When I'm walking, I get so many drop-ins and downloads because for me, I live in my head so much, I need to move my body. And so for me, sometimes that's really helpful. Early morning journaling before the day starts. Yeah. So good to notice what works for you. Moving my body. Yeah. So Heather, what works for you? Quiet meditation. So that's it. So maybe it's not even tapping. Maybe it's just meditation and visualization for you. I mean, you can do all three, but you don't have to. This doesn't have to be hard, So decide what works for you. And then at the next week, check in. What worked, what didn't, what needs to shift, because you'll be like, oh, this worked, or maybe I should add in tapping, or maybe I should take out the visualization. You know what I mean? Like you'll know, but all of those are enough to get you there. And there might come a time where you either want or long for more support. That might be it as well. I don't know, but this container is amazing. People get insane results in here, but sometimes we need a little more support. That's why I offer other, I say lower prices, but for example, Powerfully You is $555 for 5 calls. And it was, where we could have one-on-one conversations. So the container was different. So just noticing what support you might need. And then the question becomes, if money is an issue with that, it's like, okay, well, if Aaron's giving me all the tools to manifest, can I manifest the money to invest in a container where and it doesn't even have to be with me, it can be with somebody else, where I have more support? Because I hear that there's a lot coming up for you that maybe you just need to process, right? Yeah. And as I grow the Facebook group, there's going to be so many amazing humans that I hope will be able to, I know they will be able to help and give feedback and whatever. It's going to be a community of people. I really want to build a community. So yes, but if you have more questions, if you're like, I'm stuck on this, or I'm having trouble with this, drop it in the group so I can respond, if you don't mind posting, in a place that will be public. But I want other people's questions to help other people, right? That's the whole intention. Is I want everybody to do this work because it heals people. Heal people, healed people. This work is powerful. Yes, it's around money, but it is really deep healing work, right? Okay, guys, happy 4th of July. Thank you so much for joining me live. I so appreciate you guys. So much love, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.